Good morning, children. So today we are here to discuss the literary devices. I have already told you in the previous video that we will be discussing, but before that let me summarize this poem once again. So this poem that is A Legend of the Northland by Phoebe Carey. Okay, it's a poem. This poem is a legend of an old lady who angered Saint Peter because of her greed. The story, goes like this, that long ago there lived an old lady in Northland. She was very selfish and greedy. One day, what happened that Saint Peter, while preaching around the world, reached her door. She was making cakes and baking them on a hearth. Okay, hearth matlab chulha, I already told you. Saint Peter was so greedy that he was fainting with, he was not greedy, sorry. Saint Peter was hungry that he was so hungry that he was fainting with hunger, and therefore he asked the lady to give him a piece of cake. So the lady, she made a very small cake. Okay, as it was being baked, it appeared to her to be very big. So look at this greedy lady. She did not give him that piece. Okay, and then she made another still smaller, but that too seemed her to be very big. उस लेडी ने उस केक जो उसने पहले केक बनाया था उससे भी छोटा उसने बनाया, एंड देन द सेकेंड टाइम ऑल्सो that cake appeared to be big. Okay, again she took an extremely little scrap of dough and rolled it flat. Then what did she do? She baked it she baked it as thin as a wafer. But then what did she do? She could not part with it. Okay, this action of lady, that greedy lady, made Saint Peter angry, and he told her that she was not fit to live in a human form and enjoy food and warmth just due to her greed. So Saint Peter cursed her and turned her into a woodpecker who has to bore a hole in hard and dry wood to get its scanty food. Okay, so therefore she can be seen in the trees till today, searching for food. So this was the summary of this poem. Now this poem, let's discuss the literary devices in the poem. So let's start with the rhyme scheme of the poem. As I have already told you how to find rhyme scheme, children, we need to see the last word of each line of the very first stanza, that is Northland, few, winter, through. So I don't think any of the words are rhyming. No, none of the words are rhyming to each other. So the rhyme scheme of the first stanza is A, B, C, D. Now since none of the words are rhyming, so particularly what do we use? What is it? It is a blank, it is a free verse. Okay. Now the poem is in free verse. Now come to the next poetic device. Next poetic device we'll talk about is alliteration. So alliteration, what is alliteration? When the consonant sound is repeated, then we say that it is an example of alliteration. So in this I won't deal with each example of alliteration. I'll just say you some few examples of alliteration, and then you will have to find it on your own, and then we shall discuss this thing in doubt clearing class. Clear? Let me see how well you people have understood. As I have explained the poetic devices in so many poems, so you might have understood what is alliteration, repetition, enjambment, simile. Okay, so let's see a few examples of alliteration. Away, away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. So I already told you what is an alliteration. When the consonant sound is repeated again and again, okay, it's repeated, then that is an example of alliteration. So in stanza 1, away, away in the northland where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter that they. So that they. So THAT, THUI, THTH, the TT. Okay, so the sound is being repeated. So that they is an example of alliteration in the first stanza. Okay, now come to stanza number 2, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows and the children look like bears cubs in their funny furry clothes. So do we have an example of alliteration? Yes, we do have. Come to the third line, look like, LL. So L sound is being repeated. So look like is an example of alliteration. Okay. Now come to the third stanza. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it's true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell you the tale to you. So in stanza number 3, they, them. Okay, the sound is being repeated. So this is an example of alliteration. Come to the second line. No, we do not have any example. Third, yet you, your. Okay, so this is again example of alliteration. Then same line you'll have learn lesson. So learn lesson is also an example of alliteration. So there are many other examples of alliteration, but as I told you, I won't be saying all the examples. You'll have to go through it. You'll have to find it on your own, and then we shall be discussing the examples of alliteration in the doubt clearing class. Now, come to the next poetic device, that is repetition. Now, what is repetition? When the same word is repeated again and again, not the consonant sounding. I am talking about a particular word. When a particular word is repeated again and again, then that is an example of repetition. Okay, so let's see in the very first stanza, away, away in the northland. So which word is being repeated, children? Away. Okay, so it is an example of what? It is an example of repetition. Now there are other examples, there might be other examples of repetition. Find it. Okay, go for it, find it, and then we shall discuss in doubt clearing class. Clear? Now, come to the next poetic device, that is enjambment. Enjambment is, when there are running lines, okay, when there is no full punctuation mark to just indicate that where the line stops, then that is enjambment. We have discussed in the previous doubt clearing class also what is an enjambment. So let's see in the first stanza, away, away in the northland where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. So can you see in the third line, children, do we have any punctuation mark, any kind of full stop or any kind of comma, semicolon? Nothing. We do not have any punctuation mark in line number 3. So this is an example of what? Enjambment. 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 Okay. Now the next poetic device is simile. Now what is simile? You have already studied what is simile. Simile is, when we compare two things, okay, by using as or like, then that is simile. Now, there are other examples of enjambment also. So, we will discuss in the doubt clearing class. Don't worry about it. So, let's discuss simile, the example of simile. Can we have any example of simile in stanza 1, away, away in the northland where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through? No, we do not have any example of simile in the first stanza. Come to the second stanza, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows and the children look like bears' cubs in their funny, furry clothes. Okay, so yes, we do have an example of simile, that is, so when we compare two things by using as or like, then we feel that yes, this is an example of a simile. Okay, this is, so are we comparing anything in the second stanza? Yes, we are comparing. Come to line number 3, and the children look like bears' cubs. So we are comparing the children to the bears' cubs. Okay, so this is an example of simile, as we have used like over here. The word like has been used to compare children with the bear's cub. So it is an example of alliteration, simile, simile. Do not write the wrong spelling of simile, as when while correcting copies, most of you have written the spelling wrong. That is simile. It's not that. The spelling of simile is simile. Okay. So this is an example of simile. So there are more examples of simile. Again, find it in your poem, and be ready in the doubt clearing class. I'll be asking. Clear? So these were the literary devices. Okay, and there are many examples, okay, related to these literary devices in the poem. Find it, and then let me see how well you people have understood the literary devices. So that's all for today. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you, children.